Have you ever finished a chapter, closed the book, and then thought, wait, what did I just read? You remember that you looked at the pages? You remember that you turned them, maybe you even highlighted a few lines. But if someone asked, so what was that about? You would panic a little inside. Maybe you keep buying new books. Your shelf looks smart. You start one, get to page 40, then life happens, and when you come back you feel like you have to start all over again, so you just open TikTok instead. If that feels a bit too familiar, you are not alone at all. There is nothing wrong with you, your attention span, or your brain. You just learn to read in a way that is good at finishing pages, not at remembering ideas. In Japan, a lot of habits around learning and craft are built on a different idea. Go slower, go deeper, care about small details instead of speed and volume, and that attitude can completely change the way you read. In this video, I want to share 3 Japanese-inspired habits that can help you read less, but remember way more. You will not need fancy systems, apps, or perfect study notes, just small changes in how you sit with a book, how you mark it, and how you come back to it. If you have ever thought, I love the idea of reading, but I never remember anything, this is for you. Let us start with the first habit, and you will see how different reading can feel. Habit 1 is slow page, strong memory. There is a Japanese spirit you see in many traditional arts, like calligraphy, tea ceremony, flower arranging. The focus is not on finishing fast, it is on being fully present in one movement, one stroke, one sip of tea. We can bring that same spirit into reading. Most of us learn to read like a race. More pages, more books, higher number at the end of the year. So even when we are reading something deep or useful, there is a small voice asking, how fast am I going? How many pages left? Can I finish this tonight? With slow page reading, you flip that. Instead of asking how much did I finish, you ask, what did I really understand? Here is how it looks in real life. Next time you read, choose a short section, maybe just a few paragraphs, and give yourself permission to move slowly. As you read, pause whenever you hit a sentence that feels important. Do not rush past it. Read that one sentence again. Then, say it in your own words, out loud if you can, or quietly in your head. You can even talk to yourself a little. Okay, so this sentence is basically saying that my brain remembers better when I connect new ideas to something I already know. Got it? If someone walked by, yes, you might look a little weird, but you will remember that idea tomorrow. Instead of underlining 10 random lines, try this. After each small section, close the book for a moment and ask yourself one very simple question. What is the one idea I want to keep from this part? Just one, not 5, not 10. One, then you can jot that idea on a sticky note or on the margin in your own language, not the fancy words from the book. You are not trying to impress your English teacher. You are trying to make your brain actually keep something. You will notice that when you allow yourself to go slower on the page, your mind feels less scattered and you can recall what you just read much more easily. Habit 2 is write with the book, not just in the book. If you have ever seen Japanese notebooks or study notes, there is often a sense of care, small, clear handwriting, little comments, arrows, structures. People are not just copying, they are actively working with the material. A lot of us were told never write in books, keep them perfect, do not bend the corners, do not mark anything, so we treat books like museum objects, beautiful but distant. The problem is, when you read in that polite, distant way, your brain also stays distant. It says, interesting, but not mine. To remember longer, you want to move from polite reading to active conversation. Here is a simple way to do that without turning your book into chaos. Pick a short reading session and decide that while you read, you will do 3 tiny actions. First, whenever something surprises you, mark it with a small symbol that means, wow, I did not know that. Then, on the side, write one very short note about why it surprised you. Maybe you write, did not realize habits work better than motivation, or I always thought multitasking was good. Second, for each chapter or small section, write one question in the margin, not a school-type question, but something you honestly wonder about. For example, how can I use this idea in my morning routine? Or, would this work for someone who is always tired? Third, at the end of the chapter, write a one-line summary as if you are texting a friend who hates long messages. Something like, this whole chapter is basically saying, if you want to focus better, pick one thing and remove distractions. That is it. No complicated system, just small written reactions while you read. You are not just coloring the page with highlighters. You are starting to build a memory map in your own words. By the way, I am curious, when you read right now, are you more of a highlighter person, a notebook person, or a read and hope my brain remembers person? Tell me in the comments. I want to see what team you are on. Habit 3 is return lightly instead of rereading everything. In Japanese culture, there is a lot of respect for repetition done with care, whether it is practicing the same movement in martial arts or revisiting the same poem. The idea is that meaning deepens when you come back again and again in small doses. Our usual pattern with books is different. We read once, forget most of it, then feel like the only way to remember is to reread the whole thing, which feels heavy, so we do nothing. Returning lightly means you do not wait until you forget everything, and you do not force yourself to reread the entire book. You just give your brain small, friendly reminders. Here is one easy way to do it. After you finish a reading session, take one more minute and write down your 3 biggest takeaways on a separate page or in your notes app. Very short, simple phrases. Then, on another day, when you have a little gap, maybe while you are waiting for someone or drinking something, you just open that page and glance through your past takeaways. If one of them still feels important, spend a moment asking yourself, am I actually using this in my life? For example, maybe you wrote from a book about focus. I remember better when my phone is in another room. Now you see that again, and you think, honestly, I still keep my phone right next to me. Okay, let me try putting it farther away just for the next study session. You can also use your own margin notes as quick refreshers. Instead of starting the book from page 1 again, just flip through and read only your highlighted sentences, your little questions, and your one-line chapter summaries. This way, in a short time, you wake up all the big ideas without drowning yourself in pages. The magic here is that you stop treating reading like a one-time event and start treating it like a slow conversation over time. Each small return tells your brain, hey, this matters, keep this. So, let us put all of this together. First, you let go of the race to finish and practice slow page reading, giving your full attention to fewer sentences and pulling out one clear idea at a time. Second, you start writing with the book, reacting, questioning, and summarizing in your own words so the ideas feel personal, not distant. Third, you return lightly, using your own notes and takeaways to refresh your memory without restarting from zero. None of this requires more hours of reading. It is actually the opposite. You read fewer pages, but each page sticks better. You stop feeling like reading is a performance and start feeling like it is a conversation between the author and your real life. If you ever felt guilty looking at your bookshelf, thinking I read that but I do not remember anything, I hope this gives you a kinder, smarter way to approach books. You do not need to become some super academic person. You just need a few habits that match how memory actually works. If you want to test this, here is a simple challenge. Next time you read, even if it is just a short article, try all 3 in a tiny way. Move slower on one paragraph, write one reaction in the margin or in your notes, and later that day, look at that note once more, then come back and tell me in the comments what happened. Did you remember the idea more clearly than usual? I read the comments, and it is always interesting to see what part of a video sticks for you. Your answer might even give someone else the motivation to finally pick up that book on their desk and read it in a way that actually lasts.